Well, hello everyone. Happy Monday and happy Christmas week. So glad to have you join us here for our last official trivia for this year, for 2020. So this will be the last time we host Monday FunDay trivia in 2020. But make sure you join us for the first Monday in January because we have a special trivia game planned for you then. So I do have Peter Marks, Master of Wine, with us and one of the partners in Napa Valley Wine Academy. He's put together a great trivia deck for us today. So hello, Peter. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks, Christian. Hello to you and everybody out there. Happy holidays.
Looking forward to seeing how you're going to stump the guests today.
Well, today is a look back at 2020, sort of the fun and the tragic. Not to try to be too negative, but we do have a number of questions that will relate to what happened in 2020. So I've got the presentation up here, and I'll just start off with our first question of the day. We'll see if you've been keeping up with the latest news and happenings in the world of wine. So here we go. First question is, which of these wineries was not sold in the year 2020? Was it Bonnie Doon, Burgess, Ferrari Carano, or Flora Springs, or Mary Edwards? So which of those 5 wineries? Lots of transactions happening out there in the wine world these days, either through generational change or people just had a tough year and it's time to move on to something else.
Okay.
Hopefully for better pastures.
Got some answers rolling in here as we play the Jeopardy music.
Yeah.
2 of our most loyal trivia players, Steve and Michelle. Good to see you again. Okay, we'll give you a couple of more seconds. And Veronica and Anna chiming in as well. So we have here A, C, D, a shoulder shrug as well. So yeah, answers a little bit all over the place.
All over the place. Okay, we're off to a good start. There we are. And the answer is Mary Edwards. So Mary Edwards was sold, but it was sold last year in 2019, and it was sold to the company that owns Louis Roederer. This year, Bonnie Doon was sold to a company called the War Room Ventures. And as you know, they've been making great wines for many years. Randall Graham, their owner, is still affiliated and helping them out, but is not owned by him anymore. Burgess Winery was purchased by the same group that owns Heights, and they actually purchased it just a couple of weeks before Burgess was burned down in the unfortunate fires that we had here in Napa. Flora Springs was purchased by Bill Foley, and Ferrari Carano was purchased by Bill Foley, and Flora Springs was purchased by the Chateau Smith Haut Lafitte from Bordeaux. So lots of happenings in the world of wine in the business and moving on to new owners and new generations. All right, our next question is which event did not, I'm sorry, it's been a long day and a long year. Which event did take place in 2020? So one of these actually did take place and the other ones did not. So was it Auction Napa Valley? Was it the Master Wine Exam? Was it the big conference Provine in Germany? Or was it the Texom International Wine Awards? So which of those did take place in 2020? Obviously, it was a tough year for many wine events that unfortunately had to be canceled. And that was something that hopefully a lot of these things will be back in 2021. We got to get that vaccine out there. We got to get everybody healthy and safe. Some of you may have planned to attend one of these events and couldn't make it, unfortunately.
Okay, we have some answers rolling in here. Steve, Veronica, and Anna, and Gabriella, Jerry, all with A's and B's as their answers.
Wow. Well, we're kind of stumping the crowd today, aren't we? It's actually the Texom Awards that took place. So Auction Napa Valley was scheduled in June. The Master Wine Exam was also scheduled in June. Provine was also scheduled in the spring. And fortunately, the Texom International Wine Awards were in February. In fact, I was judging there. It was right around the President's Day holiday that week in mid-February. Sorry, that was actually right before COVID really hit us hard. And hopefully, again, they'll be back next year as well with their event, which always takes place in February. It's one of the first wine awards of the year, so that takes place. Next question. Which of these was not released in the year 2020? Was it the wine Opus 1, 2017? Was it Rudy Kurniawan, who was the guy who was put in jail for making counterfeit wine? Was it Steven Spurrier's memoir, A Life in Wine? Or was it the Wine Follies Top Wine of the Year 2020? So which one of those was not released in this year?
These are some good questions, Peter.
Am I stumping you too, Christian?
Yeah. Some of these are stumping me as well. So.
Yeah, it was a busy year. Lots of things were released, but one of these was not. I see some of the answers coming in. Some smiles, some A's, some B's.
Okay. Well, it looks like right now we have mostly A's with a couple of B's thrown in there as well.
Okay. Well, the answer is the Wine Follies, Top Wine of the Year. So there is the Wine Folly herself, Madeline Puckett, as you may know her. She just did not do a Top Wine of the Year. She did many other things, many videos this year. They're always fun. I always get a big laugh myself, but that was not something that was released. The annual release of Opus 1 always takes place in October, and the 17 vintage was released this October. Rudy was just released from jail, but he's in a holding place right now before they deport him back home. And Steven Spurrier's memoir, A Life in Wine, was just released this month. We interviewed Steven here on the Napa Valley Wine Academy, and that was a great interview. We're going to be doing another interview next month with Ben Hopkins with his book on sherry. So we'll have more information coming to you about that in the next week or so. Okay, so here we go. Which of the following is the Wine Spectator's 2020 Wine of the Year? Now, this got a lot of publicity last week, so hopefully you may have this one correct. So was it the 2018 Aubert Pinot Noir? Was it the 2010 Marques de Marietta de Rioja Gran Reserva Igué? Was it the 2016 Marques de Marietta Gran Reserva? Or was it the 2015 San Filippo Brunello di Maltacino? Which of those wines was the correct wine of the Wine of the Year? By the way, one of my favorite wines was wine number 4, which is the Mayacamas Cabernet. Got number 4 as a shout out to Napa Valley here, since we are in Napa Valley. How are the votes coming in, Christian?
They're coming in. We have so far Gabriella, Devore, Patricia, Steve, Anna, all with somewhat different answers. We have B, A, C, B, and A.
Okay.
And another B from Frederick. So it looks like B's now are winning, and
coming
Steve
in fast and furious.
Steve
All
saying
right.
C. So what do we got?
Well, the answer is indeed B. It's a 2010 Marques de Marietta Igué Gran Reserva Especial. Some of you may remember the wine, so you had to guess between the 2010 or 2016, but it was indeed the 2010. By the way, Marco Boyer's 2016 or 2018 Pinot Noir was the number 2 wine of the year. So, and the San Filippo Brunello di Maltacino was the wine number 3. So we had the top 3 there in the list. Other happenings this year was the fact that there was a new Italian DOC awarded in the year 2020. So was that new DOC, was it Barbera di Alba? Was it Est? Was it Prosecco Rosé? Or was it Vinsanto del Chianti? So which of those wines is now an official DOC? a great award to have. And I see some answers coming through. Some of you look like you may know what this is. Whatever it is, I know I'll be drinking some of this in the near future.
Well, a shout out to the Italians who are joining us today. And then everyone followed suit with their answer. So
there you go.
We have overall C as the answer.
And indeed it is C, Prosecco Rosé. That officially became a DOC this year. And already, as you can see in this Prosecco here from Bisol, it's already on the market. I mean, this has been known for a number of, at least for the last year or so, that this was going to be official. And now they can release it under the DOC designation, which is a great thing. I mean, Prosecco is on fire right now, and I'm sure Prosecco Rosé will do just as well. Speaking of sparkling wines, which of these new rosé sparkling wines was released in the year 2020? Was it Champagne Fleur de Miraval Rosé? Was it J. Lorenz Cremant de Limoux Rosé? Roeder Estate Le Hermitage Rosé? Or the Freixenet Cordon Rosato Cava from Spain? Everybody loves sparkling rosé, and which one of those is brand new as of this year? And maybe you have to go get your hands on. Do you have any rosé in your fridge for the holidays, Christian?
I do. I'm a huge Boulanger fan, so I have some Grand Année rosé waiting for me.
I'm waiting for my invite.
As soon as COVID's over, you can come on over.
I'll BYOB. I'll bring, or BOYG. I'll bring my own glass.
Okay. Well, right. In the meantime, we've had everyone vote, and it's pretty much unanimous that they chose D, Freixenet.
Well, I think we stumped them again. It is the Champagne Fleur de Miraval. So this is the same as the ownership of Miraval. That is Angelina Jolie and her ex-husband. So this is a rosé champagne that they have now debuted this year, and it retails in the U.S. for around the low price of about $300 a bottle. So anybody want to buy one of those and invite Christian and myself over, we will be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so we did a lot of interviews this year, especially Karen Wetzel, who is our Instagramma. She does every Tuesday and sometimes on Thursdays at 4 p.m. Pacific time, interviews with different celebrities and experts. So this year, which of the following wine experts was not interviewed by Karen? Was it Alicia Marie Kidd, known as the Wine Noir? She did an interview. She may have done an interview on diversity in the wine industry. Was it Hugh Davies from Schransberg and Davies Vineyards? Was it Steph Curry from Domaine Curry Wine? Or was it Will Blackman, the NFL Super Bowl champion? So which one of those did Karen not interview in 2020?
Those are great interviews. I love them.
Yeah.
I love them. She does such an amazing job.
And the good news is, if you missed it, you can go back on the Napa Valley Wine Academy Instagram page and watch the replay, in case you did miss it. So how are the votes stacking up, Christian?
They're coming in here. Let's see. We have Patricia Murphy saying C, Curry. Stephen saying Hugh, and Anna also saying Stephen Curry. So yeah, they're all over the place.
Okay.
C's and an A as well. Alicia Kidd is another
Good.
vote.
Equal votes. All right. Well, the correct answer, who she did not interview, was Steph Curry. So if you've never tried Domaine Curry wine, which I haven't myself, I'm hoping to get a hands on one of these days. Domaine Curry is a partnership with Stephen Curry, his wife Aisha, and also his younger sister, and also John Swartz, who's the owner of Amuse Bouche Winery. And I didn't have a picture of Stephen drinking some wine, but he has been known to drink a lot of Gatorade during the game. And by the way, basketball fans, tomorrow night, the Warriors kick it off against the Brooklyn Nets. So I'll be watching. Okay. In 2020, there was a study that found that a certain type of wine reduced blood pressure and helped to restore damaged arteries. Was that champagne? Was it Concord grape wine? Was it sherry? Or was it white Zinfandel? So which one of those helped to reduce blood pressure and help restore damaged arteries? I always say champagne cures everything, but you never know. And Concord wine, by the way, was first introduced as sort of a health benefit. Concord grape juice was recommended when it was first invented to cure all sorts of ailments. And I think wine in general, I always say it always kills a virus. Got enough alcohol to kill the bad bugs.
If we could give an award for best answer, it would have to go to Jess Helfand, who says, "Please let it be champagne." And then we have votes. Someone else voting for champagne, and then a couple of people saying Concord grape wine, and someone adding a selection E for Riesling. So what do we got?
Mm-hmm. Well, I have to tell you, Jess, who's one of our wonderful instructors here at Napa Valley Wine Academy, she's been posting all the champagnes that she's been drinking in the past few weeks during the holidays. And if it is indeed champagne, I have to tell you, Jess, you have a long life ahead of you. But unfortunately, it was not champagne. It was sherry. And this is actually a study. You got to maybe question the study because it was done at the University of Barcelona. And it was a small study, but indeed, it was sherry that showed some definite health benefits to reduce blood pressure and help heal those arteries. Well, speaking of the pandemic and things that ail us, what country shut down the sales of wine during 2020 2 times due to the pandemic? Not just once, but twice. Who did that? Was it Chile? Was it Germany, Poland, or South Africa? So which one of those? I know Monica, who works for us, is from Poland, and I know some of her friends are on today's webinar, so I think they might get this one right. You never know. So which country was it?
So a lot of people voting D, South Africa, with a couple of C's in there as well.
Okay, well, it was South Africa. I mean, they first clamped down in March, and then they clamped down again over the summer, and then they lifted that again. But I just read an article last week that they're looking at maybe a third shutdown of the wine industry, which kind of seems ridiculous. But anyway, we don't live in South Africa, so feel fortunate for that. But hopefully they don't, because the last thing I think South Africa or any wine industry needs is any more hurdles to get over this year. Let's talk about what's going on in the Master Sommelier Americas, the Court of Master Sommeliers here in the U.S. They recently installed a new chair. They had a lot of changes this past year. And was that new chair Emily Wines, Catherine Morgan, Melissa Monosoff, or Mia van der Water? The good news is, as you can tell, I'll give you a hint, it was a female. It's not that that's much of a hint there, but there is a new chair of the Court of Master Sommeliers here in the U.S. Any guesses? All of these are wonderful women, holding down great jobs here in the wine industry.
Okay, people a little bit more reserved in answering this question. We have a vote for B, Kathy Morgan. We have a vote for Mia van der Water. And we have a vote for Emily Wines, and then a shoulder shrug from Anna.
Yeah. Hey, you got a 25% chance of getting it right. But it is indeed Emily Wines. She is currently the VP of Wine and Beverage at Cooper's Hawk Winery and Restaurants in Chicago. And I know she's been a Master Sommelier for at least 15, maybe 20 years now. So she's bringing a new chapter and a new life to the court here in the U.S. And I wish her all the best. Well, since there was a lot of unfortunate news this past year, which of the following wine regions was not affected by fires in 2020? Was it Colchagua in Chile? Was it Napa Valley here in California? Was it New South Wales, Australia? Or was it the Willamette Valley in Oregon? Which one of those was not affected by fires? I must say there's a lot of creative winemaking going on these days because of the fires. One of the things I think you'll see from many regions is a influx of rosé wines that don't need a lot of skin maceration. So hopefully the skins, which tend to bring in those smoke taint compounds, will not be brought into the wine by bleeding the skins off very quickly. Okay. And some wines will have to see how they come out. So the question and the answer, what do we have, Christian?
Lots of A's with one C thrown in for good measure.
Okay. Well, it is A. Colchagua, Chile was not affected. There's a beautiful picture there of the Colchagua Valley. It was actually affected in 2017, so it wasn't that long ago, but not this year, fortunately. I don't know if any region these days is safe from fires. We have to be very careful in any part of the world. All right, so which country of the following was not hit with wine tariffs in 2020? Was it Australia, France, Italy, or Spain? Which of those was not hit with a wine tariff? It's bad enough when you've got to deal with climate change and the pandemic and then get socked with a wine tariff on top. I can only guess many people are looking forward to 2021. Bluer skies ahead.
I know I am.
Yeah. Amen.
Okay, so here we have votes for absolutely every answer. So which one was it?
Well, the correct answer is Chile. I'm sorry, not. I'm on the last question. It's Italy. I need a glass of wine or eggnog spiked with something really strong. So Australia definitely hit. Their fires started actually fall of 2019 and continued into 2020. France and Spain have been hit with a tariff. Our U.S. government has hit a 25% tariff on those wines, unless they're over 14% alcohol. And champagne is excluded as well. So drink the bubbly from champagne and drink anything that's high in octane and you'll be fine. But Italy was spared, although tariffs were hit with many other Italian foods like prosciutto, Parmesan cheese, and things like that. But their wine has not been affected. So one of the things we did, in addition to our Instagram interviews with Karen, is we also interviewed quite a few wine experts here at the Napa Valley Wine Academy during our Facebook Live events in 2020. And which of the following experts was not interviewed? Was it Fiona Morrison, Master of Wine, Hugh Johnson, Jancis Robinson, Master of Wine, or Morgan Twain Peterson, Master of Wine? And some of you may know that Morgan is the son of Joel Peterson of Ravenswood fame. Fiona Morrison is a Master of Wine, and her husband's family owns a number of properties in Bordeaux. Hugh Johnson, a famous author, and of course Jancis Robinson, also a noted wine expert author who has her own website, jancisrobinson.com. So which of those individuals did we not interview?
Okay, so most people agreeing that it was C, Jancis Robinson.
Good. You've been paying attention. I like that. So we'll have to get her on the docket for 2021. I think we'll bring her in since we haven't had her yet. Sound good, Christian?
I'm all game for it.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
She's great. Okay, good. Okay, so as you probably know, there's a lot of wine sold online these past few months. And how much did wine.com sales increase in just the first half of 2020? So just the first 6 months of 2020, how much did wine.com sales increase? 50%, 100%, 150%, or was it more than 200%? Obviously, the sales went up. I know I bought a lot of wine from them this year. I can tell you that.
Okay.
See a bunch of C's and D's.
Yep. So we have B's, C's, D's. What do we got?
Okay, the answer is it was actually 217%. Wow. And that again, that's just the first half. We haven't touched the holidays, which are taking place now. I'd be interested to see when they come out with the results for the entire year next year and see how much they've actually increased and whether they keep that pace, which is amazing.
That is amazing. Holy cow.
Yeah. All right, we've got a couple more questions to go. And the next question is, which celebrity released a wine in 2020? Was it Cameron Diaz, Justin Bieber, LeBron James, or Rudy Giuliani? Which of those? A lot of these people either drink wine or they whine a lot. One of the two. So questions are coming in, or the answers are coming in. I can see many of you are making some fun little remarks.
Yeah.
And many of you are getting the answer.
A lot of Cameron Diaz fans out here.
You got it. There she is. Where is she? With her new line, Eveline Wine, which is she's promoting it as a so-called healthy wine, free of lots of pesticides, chemicals, and things like that. And I haven't tried it yet. Have you tried it yet, Christian?
I have not, no.
Yeah.
We have a funny comment here. Someone says, just laughing at this prospect of Rudy wine.
Exactly. All right, well, here's the last question of the day. And that is, we've got to get political just once. What do Donald Trump and Joe Biden not have in common? So they actually have something in common here. Are they both teetotalers? Do they both own a winery? Did they both receive more votes for president in 2020 than any previous election? Or is one in a boot while the other is getting the boot? So which of those do they not have in common? I can't see any answers coming in, Christian. Do you?
Yeah, I got some. There's some coming in here. We have D, C, A, B. So a little bit all over the place.
All over the
Good
place,
question.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, what they don't have in common is that they both do not own a winery. There's only one Trump winery in Charlottesville, Virginia. And as far as I know, Biden doesn't own one, but they are both teetotalers. Both of them also received more votes than any president in any previous election. And indeed, one is in a boot and the other one will soon be leaving. So that's it for our review of 2020. And I just want to say cheers to 2021. It's been a great year. It's been fun having all of you participate in our trivias, our study halls, our Instagram lives. And kudos to Christian, who's the man in the back of the house running things from the studio in Napa Valley. And, it wouldn't happen without you, Christian. So thank you for making it all happen. And cheers to everybody for fabulous, happy, healthy holiday season.
Well, thank you so much, Peter. And it wouldn't have been possible without great hosts like you and your great sense of humor for today's wonderful trivia. So thank you. Thank you so much for that. And thank you, everyone, for all your support and tuning in every Monday to catch our Monday FunDay Wine Trivia. Like I said, this is the last one for 2020, but don't fret, 2021, which will be a better year for everyone. We will have more wine trivia for you then, as well as study halls. So thanks for all your support. We're wishing you, for those of you who celebrate Christmas, we wish you a very merry and happy Christmas. And for those of you who celebrate Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, all the other festivities happening in December, obviously, we're wishing you well as well. And hope you have an amazing new year, and we'll see you on the other side of 2020. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Peter.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.